So Matt was killed in a water hazing, pledging a fraternity. And what they had done is, for the last 3 nights, they had been torturing him and they had been humiliating him. And on the third night, what they do is they had what they called movie night. So they had him in this basement where the sewage had backed up. It was freezing down there. They were supposed to stand on a bench, look up to the rafters at a shoe. They couldn't make eye contact with anyone. They're being screamed at, they're being asked these ridiculous trivia questions, all the while holding this 5-gallon jug of water that they have to drink from continuously, pass back and forth. If a question is wrong, they get down on the ground. Now it's freezing here, it's Chico. They've got these big fans, so they're forced to have water on them to stay wet. They're blowing cold air on them while they're on this sewage-infested ground that's got feces backed up. It's got urine backed up in it, vomit, cigarette butts, beer, just everything down there. It's pretty disgusting. And they've got to get down there, and then they've got to get back on the bench, and they're continually drinking this water. So at some point during the night, Matt has a seizure. They have a choice. They can get him help, or they can do nothing. So rather than get him help, they decide to put him on a couch and thinking that, we don't want to get in trouble. Something could happen to us. We'll lose our house. Where are we going to live? So while he's laying there, his kidneys and his liver are shutting down because of the water. His brain and his heart are just swelling to capacity. And his lungs are being filled with water. An hour later, he stops breathing. And that's when all hell breaks loose, and they decide they better start calling somebody. But now it's too late. They've taken all this time. Autopsy showed had they called when he went down, he would still be alive today. But they don't think. They don't think about that because they're just kind of worried about themselves and getting into trouble, and that's why you have to be careful when you get into these situations. And Matt just figured, they're my brothers. They're going to take care of me. They've got my back. It's just water. So yeah, it was a horrible experience and a horrible, horrible way to die. Where I was when Matt was killed, it was the darkest place I'd ever been in. I'd been in dark places before and I'd suffered from depression. But when Matt was killed like that, and it came out of nowhere, and it was my child, I thought, I didn't care if I died. I wanted to die. I was just in such a horrible, scared, depressed, devastated place that I really didn't know if I would recover. I really, really didn't know. And I cried every day for 3 years. I cried the better part of 4 years. I did get things accomplished, but it was so painful just getting out of bed, and living and smiling and thinking, he can't smile, having a birthday and thinking he can't have a birthday, and so every day was a challenge to put the one foot in front of the other and not knowing if I was going to make it. And then finding other parents and they're not knowing if they're going to make it. And I thought, God, are any of us going to make it? And I had this woman who was a victim's advocate who sat with me in court, because when you go to court, when you lose somebody to hazing, you have a lot of things that go on. You didn't just lose your child, but you've got a criminal case, you have a civil case, you've got a call to action like we did with Matt's Law because something needed to be done. You have, just so many things going on in your life, and you're still just trying to exist. So what I found was that when I found this woman whose son had been brutally murdered 4 years before Matt was, that she was okay. I thought, how is she okay? How is she here helping me? Where did she find this? But that didn't matter. What mattered was I now had hope that one day I could be okay. That one day, even though I was in the depths of the darkest place I had ever been and thought that I would be there forever, that one day I wasn't going to be there. One day I was going to be able to laugh and really have that feeling that I was really laughing, and it wasn't just pretend laugh to make other people feel like I was okay. And when I smiled, it wasn't just a fake smile so people wouldn't worry about me. That one day I was going to be able to have fun and not feel guilty about, being happy and having fun. But that wasn't that day. I knew it wasn't going to be that day, and I didn't know how long it was going to take, and it took a really long time, and it's going to take long time for a lot of people, but knowing that you can get there and one day you will be there, that's what I want people to know. That's why I want this book out there. I want them to know with love and hope and forgiveness and survival. I mean, these are all the things that are going to come out of this book, and things that are going to just help you get to that place that you think you're never ever going to be again. And that is the reason I want to write this book. And that's what's really important to me, is to just help those people, because I know that pain. I still live with it every single day. But I'm okay. And so can they be. And that is the purpose.